What's up, y'all? You got Dana here. The wait's finally over, and the most controversial battle on the Summer Madness 2 card finally dropped, which was T-Rex and AyeVerb. I gotta say that all of y'all motherfuckers that was in the building that saw that shit gassed that battle in more ways than one. I'll get into that later on. The battle in and of itself was an interesting battle. Both of them kind of left a lot to be desired. I'm still hoping that the old Verb is going to show his face. You know, the one that battled against Miles, the one that battled against Hollow. And anybody who thinks that that was T-Rex at his best is sadly mistaken. And I honestly feel like his Summer Madness performance against Conceited was much better than his performance against AyeVerb. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, let's get into this review. So we get into T-Rex's first round, which I have to say was a pretty decent first round. His best line, it was definitely the G-Dub line. Everybody went crazy for that particular line. He started up where he talked about AyeVerb's loyalty and how he cooked ill when he went out. And he talked about how it was weird that AyeVerb would battle against his little brother for Crown of St. Louis. It's not that serious. There are bigger things than battle rap. If, you know, anybody can have that in his clique, of course, Mook has that. Aside from that, it was your typical fair gun bars. Lots and lots of gun bars. Lots and lots of I'ma shoot you, kill you, put holes in you. In every shape, form, and fashion. That was round one. Oh, and before I forget, at the end of the round, he pulls out the Playboy Bunny AyeVerb cardboard cutout, to which the crowd went crazy for. That was the end of round one. AyeVerb's first round, he had a very effective G-Dub line as well, which almost, to me, looked like it was a rebuttal. I thought it was dope. What the fuck is so difficult about the math problem using trigonometry and algebra together in that particular scheme? I liked that. Divide, multiply, equal, sum of that, all that stuff was a math scheme. I liked that. The shit about Star Smile saying that T-Rex is prettier than his girl, I thought that was pause-worthy, and it was whack. You know, I wasn't feeling that at all. I thought that your new bitch is some old pussy from Shotgun Sugar. I thought all of that was funny. The King of Lion, Mufasa, that whole particular scheme up after that was crazy. Lyrically, I liked it. The wordplay was put together quite nicely. You know, the blue blockers, tube socks up, new chopper, all of that to me, I was digging. I love that. Get the banging on that Tommy like Kumala, all of that was dope to me. At the end of AyeVerb's round, he got into Harlem and he talked about how Harlem can't control their stars and how Harlem can't control their bitches because Jim Jones can't control Chrissy, which I thought was hilarious. I loved it. At the end of that first round, I had to give it to AyeVerb. I thought that AyeVerb was telling you a story, painting pictures for you. This was all, you know what I'm saying, character evaluation on the part of AyeVerb, and T-Rex was just giving you typical gun bars. A lot of the lines that he was spitting, he could have gave to anybody, and a lot of that stuff was basic too, so I wasn't digging it. As far as the cardboard cutout, to me, it was corny. It didn't add anything to that particular round. It's a cardboard, you put AyeVerb's head on a Playboy Bunny, like, I don't know, I wasn't digging it. So round two starts, and before it begins, Smack makes the announcement that Diddy's putting up $10,000 for the battle, who I'm guessing gets the round or whatever the case may be. So automatically now, there's a shift in the atmosphere. Like, I feel like if they were going to do that, it should have been something that either got announced at the very beginning of the battle or at the very end of the battle. But to do it at the start of the second kind of just wasn't a good look to me. So T-Rex goes in, and he had a lot of dope lines in this particular round. I'm gonna beat him with the handle, I'm all dribble. This is Word to Jesus socks, I just thought was funny, and I'm sure that this is gonna be a staple now in battle rap history, along with this shit nutty, beloved, I'm humbled, man, what, and all the other little quotables that people tend to go back to. So it was cool. I liked it. The Apple text slow it downs to me were garbage, and to have it end with Tech Nine hopping out the crowd in that Levi's hat looking like struggle didn't add nothing to it either. I feel like, damn, Tech, like, you honorary dot mom now, like you rolling blunts for them now. I wasn't feeling that at all. The shotgun shells, red and green, the Gucci crime scene line, niggas liked it. I didn't. Y'all can go ahead and say I'm biased. It wasn't hot to me. If it was hot to you, cool. And then the bringing it back and saying when I'm squeezed, I'm Gucci before the crime scene. Nah, no. Take me a half an hour to load the chopper up. I ain't speaking when I say I came to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Verb gets into his round. 2 bars in, setting up a scheme that started off with a T-Rex line, the crowd starts booing. And it blew me because you're booing and he hadn't even got to a punch. He hadn't even really given you the whole picture for you to say that what he was telling you was corny. So I wasn't feeling that at all. Obviously, you know, Verb's looking at Smack like you need to do something about this. They pan up to Diddy and Mickey and everybody that was up in the balcony. They're all motioning to the crowd to chill so he can get his verses off. Meanwhile, fucking Twat Mom and T-Rex is bitching about the fact that if they think it's whack, let them think it's whack. Nigga, they booing on some shit you said in a battle before. What do you mean? Like, anyway, they get the crowd down. Verb finishes the setup and the crowd ends up liking it. This shit blew me. So he goes in. He had a lot of really dope stuff in this particular second round. The court scheme I liked. All of that, you know what I'm saying? The court scheme was cool. T-Rex in his first round had mentioned how him and K-Shine will never battle, and if they ever do, they'll put their hands up first. AyeVerb in his second round said, and to me this was a rebuttal, he said that, well, if me and my niggas ever got in a fight, we'd shake hands after. I dug that line. I liked all of it. So, in the midst of him rapping, T-Rex is getting all up in his face. AyeVerb backs him up one time, then shoves him again. To which T-Rex said, move your hand like that again. And in the back of my mind, I'm just like, well, if you was going to do something, you would have did it. So stop it. And then later on, you hear him apologize. Everybody's saying that it was tactics, and it worked. It rattled Verb, and it really fucked up his second round. So despite all of the fuckery and the whining and the booing and T-Rex and Dot Mop and all that extra that they had going on in their corner, I definitely still had to give that second round to Rex. He had a little bit more. His shit got off cleaner. We get into Rex's third round, and he starts off with the line about AyeVerb being a sacrificial lamb, which I thought was cool. The shit about him saying that Smack has all the new niggas getting killed by old niggas, obviously now looking back, was a bunch of bullshit because overall, the Legends didn't do well except for Sirius Jones. So much for that bar. The shoot and pass line, I was digging. There were a lot of questionable lines in this particular round. One in particular was the Utah Jazz line. I didn't like it. The crowd didn't get it at first, and it took him slowing it down for them to get it again. So that basically means they didn't get it's either one or two things. They weren't feeling it or they didn't get the double entendre. Either way it goes, I personally didn't care for that line. The shoot and pass line, however, I did like. The fire drill scheme was cool. The crowd really didn't react crazy to that, but I liked it. The Stevie J face was alright. Him bringing out K-Shine, okay, we get it. But then again, we heard the loudest bitch in the URL the entire battle, so it was almost to me like, really? That was right. Like, I sound biased as fuck, whatever. That was T-Rex's third. So we get into AyeVerb's third, and I have to go ahead and say this now before I end off. It was short. No doubt about that. But some things that I was digging personally in the some things that I was digging though in AyeVerb's third personally was the change toll line. Funny thing is, in the midst of Verb rapping. Rex says, you know I don't fuck with math. I'm gonna get back to that statement in just a second. The rat tail, slow it down, was whack. Didn't need it at all. Right hands waving a five, but I ain't greeting you. Love that. You ain't start rapping no real shit till you start fucking with damn bars. And then he goes into, I close my eyes and rewind. Then I talk that shit. You watch niggas' lives and write battle rhymes. Rex, you was taught that shit. Love that. You know, he was sunning him. He got into the whole you rep GMB, you don't say no grown man shit. Only old fools think it's cool to hang in the hood and post up in front of the store, all that shit. A man who knows he knows nothing, knows everything, all of that stuff. He was talking to this man. Now, this was real talk. The shit about you think it's cool for niggas to run a train on your baby mama and all that shit like that. You be dapping these niggas, where all them hammers you be having while you ain't clap at these niggas. All that stuff to me was A1. I gave that third to Verb. There was more meat, more substance. Like I said, it all came together. The story, the picture he was painting about Rex's character came together quite well. It was personals mixed with wordplay, mixed with bars. It was a nice bit for me. So that was the battle for me. 2-1 AyeVerb. I understand if you gave it 2-1 Rex, this battle is extremely debatable. I gotta say a couple of things before I end this out because they need to be addressed. Number one, whoever that guy is in the blue that's rocking with Dot Mom, smacking K-Shine and Rex on the ass, I hope they had a team meeting with that nigga because it looks super suspect that this nigga was smacking and grabbing ass the entire battle. That's number one. Number two, I don't know who dressed these niggas, but Verb looks like he just got off his shift at fucking Geek Squad and threw on a vest, and fucking T-Rex looks like he got his fucking outfit straight off the clearance rack of Forever 21. That Dot Mob t-shirt looks like a fucking cheerleader's warm-up shirt and them fucking pants. Man, those fucking pants. Were they capris? Were they pedal pushers? Did he chop them up like that himself? Who told him that shit was hot? Tex Levi's hat, that shit wasn't fresh either. And the reason why I'm bringing all this shit up is because niggas getting paid thousands of dollars, but y'all dress like y'all got y'all straight out the swap meet somewhere. As far as K-Shine being the loudest bitch in the URL, it's a good look for the sport. I think that he just adds entertainment value. I don't think he's bothering nobody. If you don't like the fact that that nigga's all in the background yelling, you ain't gotta watch. As far as the corner talking, while Verb was rapping, even T-Rex kind of talking, calling this nigga a bitch ass nigga and shit like that while he was getting his rhymes off. Some of that shit was cool. A lot of it, however, to me was uncalled for. Again, some shit that we talked about on Battle Rap Arena last night was there are no clear-cut rules as to what you can and can't do when a man is rapping. So as far as like etiquette and shit like that, of course a nigga will say, well, you don't do no shit like that to no grown-ass man. But at the same time, I don't think it's in their contracts that they can't carry on like that. One more thing, Mob, rapping to the balcony like that was some bitch shit. And you can't win a fucking battle not rapping to your opponent. So that's another thing. All you niggas that was saying Rex was winning, how the fuck could he win when he spent more time addressing Diddy in the balcony than he did addressing AyeVerb? The only time he really got in AyeVerb's face was when AyeVerb was rapping. So that's another thing. I get it, T-Rex. You want a fucking deal. Your shot at stardom was in the building that night. And nothing fucking came of that shit. I'm happy for you. You got $10,000. Do something about the fucking polyps on your fucking face. That's all. And so we get into the last scene of this particular battle. And this is important to note. Which is why I'm going to get back to the line in the third. When Verb was rapping and Rex said to Verb while he was rapping, you know I don't fuck with math. Math puts his hand around T-Rex and says to T-Rex, you know, when he's got this 10 G's or whatever, he says to T-Rex, you know, be careful, you know, with this money. And he's talking to Math and he says to Math, I ain't Mook, I'm the tough one. What? What does that mean? Did you not know your mic was still on? I'm confused. And of all the people to say that to, you say that to Math? Like, that was the first thing that came to mind to say. Like I said, Dot Mom needs to have a team meeting about the ass grabber. Dot Mom needs to have a team meeting about fucking T-Rex's attire. Dot Mob really ought to have another fucking team meeting about the fact that Rex is all over the country battling and he still has those fucking polyps on his ears. Like, let's do something about that. You was 10 G's up plus the money that you got from Smack to do the battle. I know damn well it don't cost no money to get those fucking warts off your face. Do something about that. The long and short of it is, though, this battle is definitely gonna go down as the most debatable on the SM2 card. Nobody got bodied. All y'all niggas that went to the event said Verb got bodied in the building. That it was a clear win for Rex, and that it was Rex in rare form. Lyrically, this is not the best Rex I've ever seen. And also, I can say that for Verb too. This isn't the best Verb that I've seen. If you haven't seen the battle, I will definitely leave a link down for it in the description box below. And don't forget to like this video, share this video, comment on it, subscribe to this here channel, and like the Envy Life on Facebook. I appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Peace.